Welcome to TechFest 2021, Sinclair Community College's Manufacturing and Industrial Engineering Technology booth. Of course, we're virtual this year, and we really miss seeing all of you making dog tags, playing with the battling tops, and so forth. But this year, we've got a really neat thing for you. It's a challenge. It's something that you can research, and we ask that you get your parents and have them sit in, or grandparents to sit with you, and take a look at what we're about to present. Because what we're going to talk about is manufacturing, and whether or not you could live without manufacturing in your life. So on the stage with me today are some items that have been manufactured. First, on your left, you'll see a guitar amplifier. An electric guitar is no good without an amplifier. After all, the sound doesn't go very far. You never hear it out there in the audience. So we're going to look at an amplifier and all the hundreds of parts that go into it, and the PC boards and the tubes and everything. And just think about, somebody has to start making that somewhere. And the knobs, just the plastic knobs alone, take a lot of work. They have to be made in a mold. A mold takes a machinist to make the mold. The next items are train. Remember last year, many of you saw a train at the display. And that train is made up of a lot of parts that our students have put together. They've machined them in our lab, put them together to make that train so that you could sit on it. So that's another thing that's been manufactured. How many of you out there enjoy flying a drone? This drone on your right, well, it's made up of a lot of plastic parts. Each of those plastic parts have to be made in a mold. And again, those molds are made from metal. So it takes a manufacturer that can make a mold. It takes a machinist that can run the machines. And even if we 3D printed that entire apparatus, the motors have to be made. They're made from metal. And the 3D printer that made all the parts, somebody has to make that 3D printer and all the parts that are in there. And finally, the last but not least on the stage is the ATM machine. Your parents can probably tell you how many thousands of parts are in that ATM machine. You put your card in, it has to read it, and then it has a mechanism that spits the money out to your parents so they can go buy you something. Which, after all, isn't that the most important part? So the biggest thing to remember is, without manufacturing, each of these items, the amplifier, the train, the drone, and most importantly, the ATM machine, would disappear. They wouldn't be here without manufacturing. How many of you actually got up this morning and took a bath? Went to the kitchen, got a glass of water out of the sink? Maybe you brushed your teeth in the bathroom. Or maybe you flushed your toilet. Have you thought about where water comes from and how it gets into your house? Well, that's the project. That's your challenge. I want you to think of something that you really enjoy, something that you do every day, and I want you to research it from the ground up. I want you to figure out how it starts out, just like water, how it comes out of a well, how it's pumped out of a well by an apparatus called a pump that has many manufactured parts, how it goes on to come into your house through pipes, how it has to go through valves. And once it does get into your house, if you live in town, you probably have a meter that it goes through. It may come into your house, go through a softening system. It may just go to a faucet. But that faucet's made up of hundreds of parts. Again, without manufacturing, we're really limited to what we can do. Truthfully, about everything that you touch, see, or do in life can't exist without manufacturing. If you can think of one thing that manufacturing doesn't touch, I want you to bring it to me next year at TechFest so that we can talk about it. But I challenge most of you young people, think about manufacturing, what you could give to manufacturing. If you like making things with your hands, if you like doing things that's going to help other people, manufacturing is all about that. So manufacturing, we just can't live without it. Please stay tuned and watch the video by Tony Neary, Director of Education for Haas Factory Outlets. It's only about 3.5 minutes long, but I believe it'll open your eyes to what manufacturing is today and how wonderful it is. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you next year at TechFest 2022.
I'm Tony Neary. I'm the Director of Education for the Haas Factory Outlets of Morris Group. What most people don't realize is that manufacturing is alive and well. It's a really prosperous time for manufacturers in the U.S. We love the fact that all of our Haas machines are manufactured in Oxnard, California, and we work with hundreds of thousands of manufacturers throughout the U.S., and they need a workforce. Manufacturing today is high tech, it's advanced technology, it's programming, so students that are really high math skills, love gaming, Lego builders, robotics students, these are the students that really excel in machine tool technology and CNC programs today. Right now, we really need students that are coming into the pathway that are excited, talented, skilled to come and run this equipment at all of the manufacturers that we work with. The average manufacturing compensation in the U.S. right now is just over $74,000 a year. And when you compare that to student debt, it's huge. The H-Tech Network is a group of 2,200 schools, educators, administrators, and advocates from across the world that come together to help solve problems for educators. So the Gene Haas Foundation has contributed over $54 million to date, and that goes to student scholarships, supporting amazing programs like we see here at Purdue University in the CNC lab, NIMS credentials for students, Skills USA, First Robotics. So we're here at the Bechtel Innovation Design Center, which we're standing in the Gene Haas lab right now. And you'll meet students here that are doing amazing things and entrepreneurs that are sparking new creations, inventions, and different ways of doing things. We're really excited to get the Gene Haas Naming Rights Foundation grant for this program because it really is a great demonstration of today's technology. We're on the first floor, it's an all-glass building. Students are walking by, seeing the machines running, and actually seeing other students in here designing and creating and innovating. One of my favorite things is to meet students in our programs that just have that spark and entrepreneurial spirit. We have individual students graduating from programs and starting their own shops daily and all over the country, from somebody running with one machine in their garage to opening up a company that's supplying and exporting multinationally. It's really amazing to see the number of people that come out of our programs that really do live that American dream. They're starting their own company, they're making components for huge companies, and they're really just starting their own business. It's pretty exciting to see. So I think it's really important that career influencers, which are parents and career coaches, guidance counselors, and teachers, understand what manufacturing does in your community. And it's the backbone. They're giving back, they're helping to grow, they're supporting other industries in your area. This is a great opportunity to take those tinkering skills that you have and find an amazing career pathway in machining. So we want you to come and see your local machining lab, meet with your local machining instructor, and to find out how vast the opportunities are right in your own area.